Hi everyone, this is Danish living. Today I will use watermelon peel and watermelon juice to make a delicious cold noodle for the hot summer. Watermelon is my favorite fruit. Actually, it's one of the favorite fruits in my family. I could remember that there were often watermelon fields in the west of our village when I was a child. From time to time, Grandpa took one or two watermelons home when they were becoming mature. But most of watermelons he took home had been destroyed to some extent. He said that they had been damaged by hedgehogs during the night. It was a pity, but for Grandma, it wasn't a pity. She had many ideas of using this round and sweet fruit to make different dishes. Watermelon noodle is one which we had very often in hot summers. She cut away the green peel and cut the white peel into small pieces and dried them first for a day under the sun so they can be salted a bit. And then she used them as a kind of vegetable in the next day. Our neighbors had been learned this idea. In a long period, they didn't throw any part of watermelons out back then. Sometimes, some watermelons had not been destroyed totally, so Grandma and Mom used partially the watermelon juice to mix with flour to make a watermelon noodle. It has a color which is different from normal noodles we had. As kids, we were very glad for such colorful noodles. We always ate more than as we did usually. From time to time, we were also very proud of having such a noodle, so we could show off in front of other kids. They were very curious mostly, and also acted very quickly to ask their grandma or mom to make this kind of noodle next time. So my grandma and mom were busy to tell them how to do it. But when other kids had finally gotten the watermelon noodle, Grandma and Mom had already changed the color of our noodles again. Here I used the same way to squeeze the juice from watermelon as Grandma and Mom did back then. Fortunately, it doesn't need so many juices to make a noodle, even if there are more people in the family. But it wasn't that true sometimes. For our neighbor with 9 kids, they had to squeeze more juice to make enough noodle, since they ate more when it was a watermelon noodle. In order to make a tasty noodle, it's good to add a bit of salt and 1 or 2 eggs, depending on the quantity of flour. The dough has to be rested for at least 15 minutes before rolling it out. Each time when I'm trying to make such noodle by hand, I couldn't help thinking about my mom. It was tough to roll the dough out into noodles, especially when it was a scorching summer. And there weren't any fans when we began to use electric lamps in the first some years. Our kitchen is small and hot in summers, so she sweated a lot and had often been exhausted after finishing that hard work. During the harvesting seasons, she had to work in the field as Grandpa and Dad did, while she needed to help Grandma to make food. Many times, she couldn't have anything when we had lunch or dinner. When the economic situation became better, both in the society and in our family, this watermelon noodle had been gone away gradually, since we are able to buy different noodles from the noodle shops and the supermarkets. It was a big progress for us, but on the other hand, we had also lost the most precious part when looking back. My grandma used to fry the salted watermelon peels with some green chili from our own vegetable garden. My mom likes to fry them with pork meat. I did it in the same way as Grandma did before, but boiled 2 chicken legs separately so that there are more options for my family. In many ways, I think that cooking is a very interesting thing. You can use others' recipes to make exactly what they did. You can also just use your own imagination to make whatever you want to make, as long as you like it. I noticed from Grandma that a bit of cooking oil should be added into the water when boiling noodles with color, so that you can get colorful noodles with fresh and nice color. I have shared this secret with you now. Hope that you can also be able to make such a beautiful noodle. When cooking handmade noodles, they don't need to be cooked too much. Just boiling them for 4 to 5 minutes will be enough. I'm saying that this is a kind of cold noodle because Grandma used to take the noodles into the cold water for a while and then eat them with the vegetables in summers. It was quite comfortable to have such a noodle when it was too hot. If they wanted to have meat in this kind of noodle, the chicken meat would always be the first priority, since we had some chickens in our chicken coop. From time to time, Grandpa liked to have egg with watermelon peel. It was also very nice.